Oh God.
Wait, oh, wait, yes! There.
So here me and Aaron are taking out the transmission. If you've been following along, you'll know the transmission's been slipping in first, or at least felt like it was. After checking everything out I know to check, I come to the conclusion that I'm just going to have to pull it out and take it apart and see what's going on. Right now I think the issue is somehow the clutches got toasted, so I have replacements for them, got new clutches, got new steels, and we'll try freshening up the transmission here. Okay, so the transmission's out of the truck now. I've got it up on the bench, so I'm going to go ahead and start the teardown. Got a little fun fact for you, a little FF. All these tail housing bolts were just hand tight. I never got around to tightening them up, I guess. I know I just put the transmission on the bucket, but I'm going to go ahead and put it right back on the bench just to pull the valve body off and the plate and stuff so that I don't lose the check balls. And then once I got that off, I'll go ahead and put it back onto the bucket. For the sake of brevity, I'm not going to show me pulling the whole transmission apart, even though I did tear it all the way down so I could clean all the metal shavings out of the case. So from this point, I'll just skip to me looking over the clutches, starting here with the intermediates. So I've got the new steels on the left side of the screen, and the old steels are there on the right side. You can see that the old ones are actually in pretty decent shape. They're a little discolored, but overall in pretty good shape. Same goes for the clutches, though I'll go ahead and replace both the steels and clutches, then check the clearances. If you want more detail about the clearances or the rebuild as a whole the first time I did it, go ahead and check in the card up at the top for the video series on it. Here are the direct drum clutches. As you can see, just like the intermediates, they seem to be in pretty good shape. This is something I was not expecting. With the direct drum, we're looking for 50 thousandths between this, the top plate, and the top friction. I was struggling last time to get them together correctly, to get that clearance correct. So the way that you do it is, you go plate, then friction, then steel, then friction. Well, I started off with a wave plate, which cushions the shift, and I did that. I went wave plate, then a steel right on top of it, and then friction plate. So this time I pulled out that wave plate, And I went with a friction. Now these are the thick ones. I've got thick ones and thin ones. These are the old ones. So I went with plate, friction, plate, friction, plate, and then I ran one of the old plates with all my new plates. So 2 steels in the middle, right on top of each other, and then I'll go, friction, steel, friction, friction, steel, the rest of the way. This gets me closer to the clearances that I'm looking for. I'm still a little bit on the loose side, but at this point, I don't know if it's because of the 4L80E drum or what it is. I just can't seem to get my clearances where I feel like they need to be. But they claim, my notes say anywhere from 50 thousandths to 80 thousandths. 80 thousandths seems a little bit on the loose side, which is closer to where I'm at. I'm closer to the 80 thousandths. But I think it's going to be better than it was with that wave plate. You're not supposed to double stack the steels. The concern is that they'll hold on to too much heat or something like that. I don't really have much concern with that. Honestly, I feel like the more heat that it absorbs, the better. Maybe. The steels will absorb the heat and hopefully dissipate as well. I don't know. We'll try it. It didn't work the way it was before, so we'll try this and see where we go. So I finished up with the direct drum, and I'm starting to move into the forward clutches, and I'm finding that they look just fine as well. I'm starting to really feel like an idiot here. I don't really know what the problem is. So not knowing any better, I go ahead and start stacking the clutches and steels into the forward drum. And as I'm doing that, I find that there's a pretty sharp edge along the rim of the forward drum. As you can see here, that edge seems to have a really sharp lip on it. I've come to the conclusion that I believe the forward drum and the direct drum were actually rubbing together, not engaging both at the same time, but it was trying to spin the direct drum in first gear. I looked on the direct drum and didn't see near as much damage as on the forward drum. And these two rubbing together seems to be the cause of the metal shavings that were throughout my transmission, not from clutches prematurely wearing. I for some reason did not take any video of the issue. I only took pictures. Don't really know why. I guess I just forgot. So you can see here that the forward drum is actually sitting directly on top of the direct drum, and in this closer image, hopefully you can see there is 0 space between the two. So after further examination, I had found that I forgot to put a thrust washer on the back side of the forward hub. You can see the picture of that here. This washer helps set the clearance between the forward drum and the direct drum. It also helps set the input shaft in play, which I also had issues with when building it the first time. You can see now with this thrust washer in there, I have some space between the forward drum and the direct drum, 20 thousandths clearance to be exact. So I finished up putting the forward drum together and got it all installed. Now I'm going to go ahead and get the pump ready to install. I went ahead and reduced the converter feed hole and replaced the large bushing inside of it. To see all that work, go ahead and check this video up in the cards on the top right. So there we have it for today, guys. I just got my new detent solenoid in today, so we need to get that installed and then finish cramming everything back together, put the transmission up into the truck, and hopefully good to go. I'll bring you guys along for the test drive. I'm pretty confident that this is going to resolve all the problems I've been having. Forgetting that thrust washer is a pretty big deal. So don't do that if you're building one of these. Don't forget that. And if you guys made it this far in the video, consider subscribing, leaving a comment, or watching some of my other videos. Thanks for watching, guys.